If you are over 60 and you have noticed that everything just feels harder than it used to, getting up from a low seat takes more effort, carrying groceries wears you out faster, your posture is rounding forward, your legs tire on short walks, and you just do not feel as solid on your feet as you did 10 years ago, I want you to understand something that changes the way you think about all of it. These are not 5 separate problems. They are one problem showing up in 5 different places. Your body is losing functional strength, and it is losing it in a predictable pattern that accelerates after 60. After age 60, the average adult loses 3% of their muscle mass every single year. That means by 70, you could have lost nearly a third of the muscle you had at 50. But here is what makes this dangerous. The muscles you lose first are not the ones you see in the mirror. They are the deep stabilizers, the postural muscles, the hip drivers, and the core braces that keep you upright, balanced, and capable of moving through daily life without thinking about it. When those go, everything starts to feel effortful, not painful necessarily, just hard. But here's the exciting news. A landmark study from Tufts University took adults in their 90s, people who could barely walk, and put them on a targeted strength program. Within 8 weeks, they increased their strength by an average of 174%. Some of them threw away their walkers. In their 90s, your body does not care how old you are. It cares whether you give it the right stimulus. And today, I am giving you exactly that. 5 exercises that target the 5 functional movement patterns your body needs to stay strong, stable, and independent after 60. Before we start, where are you watching from and how old are you? Drop your country and age in the comments. And tell me honestly which daily task has gotten noticeably harder in the last year. Getting up from chairs, carrying things, climbing stairs, walking distances. I read every comment and I want to know what your body is telling you. Now let me give you a quick test. Stand up next to a chair for safety. Cross your arms over your chest. Now sit down into the chair slowly for a full 3 seconds, controlling every inch of the descent. Then stand back up without using your hands. If you could do it with full control, smooth and steady, your functional strength has a solid foundation. If you wobbled, rushed the sitting part, or had to grab the armrests, your stabilizers and leg strength are below where they need to be. If you could not do it at all without your hands, these 5 exercises are urgent for you. Write your result: smooth, wobbled, or needed hands. You are coming back for this test in 30 days. Now these 5 exercises train all 5 patterns. Nothing is missing, nothing is wasted. This is the minimum effective routine for total body functional strength after 60. Exercise number 5. The plank. We start here because your core is the foundation that every other movement depends on. Your core is not your six-pack muscles. It is the entire cylinder of muscles wrapping around your midsection, your deep abdominals, your obliques, your lower back stabilizers, and your pelvic floor, all working together to keep your spine protected and your body stable. When your core is weak, your lower back absorbs every shock, every twist, every lift that your core should be handling. That is why so many people over 60 have chronic lower back pain that never resolves no matter how much they stretch. The problem is not a tight back. It is a weak core that forces the back to do a job it was never designed for. Here is how to do the plank. Get on the floor and position yourself face down with your forearms flat on the ground, elbows directly beneath your shoulders. Curl your toes under and lift your body off the floor so your weight is supported on your forearms and your toes. Your body should form a straight line from the top of your head to your heels. Do not let your hips sag toward the floor. Do not push your hips up into a tent shape. Straight line. Imagine a broomstick running from your head down your back to your heels. That broomstick should touch your head, your upper back, and your glutes all at the same time. Now hold this position. Breathe. Do not hold your breath. This is the most common mistake with planks. People clench everything and forget to breathe. Inhale through your nose for 3 counts. Exhale through your mouth for 3 counts. Steady and rhythmic while your core burns. Hold for 20 seconds, rest for 30 seconds. Hold for 20 seconds again, rest for 30, one more hold for 20 seconds. 3 holds total. That takes about 2.5 minutes. As you get stronger week by week, add 5 seconds to each hold. When you reach 45 seconds per hold, your core is strong enough to protect your spine during virtually any daily activity. Exercise number 4, the chair-assisted hip hinge. This exercise trains the most important movement pattern that most seniors have completely lost: the hip hinge. Every time you bend forward to pick something up from the floor, to load the dishwasher, to tie your shoes, to pet your dog, you should be hinging at your hips, not bending through your lower back. But years of poor movement habits have taught most people to round their spine forward instead of pushing their hips back. This puts enormous pressure on the lumbar discs and is the #1 cause of acute back injuries in adults over 60. The chair-assisted hip hinge reteaches your body how to bend correctly so your hips do the work and your spine stays protected. Stand about 2 feet behind a sturdy chair with your feet hip-width apart. Reach forward and place both hands lightly on the back of the chair. Now push your hips straight backward like you are trying to close a car door with your backside. As your hips travel backward, your torso will naturally lean forward. Let it. But keep your back completely flat. Do not round your spine. Your back stays straight as a board from your tailbone to the back of your head. You should feel a strong stretch in your hamstrings as your hips push back. Once you have hinged forward to about a 45-degree angle, pause for 1 second, then drive your hips forward to return to standing. Squeeze your glutes at the top as you stand tall. The chair gives you a reference point for your hands and a safety net for balance. But the work is happening entirely in your hips and your glutes. Your arms are not pulling you up, your hips are driving you up. Do 10 repetitions, rest for 30 seconds, then 10 more. Each rep should take about 4 seconds. 2 seconds to hinge back, 2 seconds to drive forward. Total time about 2 minutes. But here is what most people get wrong with hip hinges. They bend their knees too much and turn it into a squat. Look at the difference. In a squat, your knees travel forward and your body drops straight down. In a hip hinge, your knees stay almost straight with just a slight soft bend, and your hips travel backward while your chest goes forward. The movement is back and forth, not up and down. Think of a drinking bird toy dipping forward and rocking back. That is a hip hinge. Your knees stay quiet. Your hips do all the moving. Exercise number 3, the wall push-up. Now we train the pushing pattern. Pushing is essential for daily independence. Pushing a heavy door open. Pushing yourself up from a chair or the floor, pushing a shopping cart, stabilizing yourself when you lose balance by pressing against a wall or counter. When your pushing muscles weaken, these tasks become frightening. And when tasks become frightening, people stop doing them. And when people stop doing them, the muscles weaken further. A vicious cycle that the wall push-up breaks immediately. Stand facing a wall about 18 inches away. Place your palms flat on the wall at shoulder height, slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Your fingers point upward. Now slowly bend your elbows and lean your chest toward the wall. Keep your body in a straight line from your head to your heels. Do not let your hips sag forward or your back arch. Lower yourself until your nose is about 3 inches from the wall. Then press yourself back to the starting position by straightening your arms. The key is the tempo. Take 3 seconds to lean in and 2 seconds to push back. This slow, controlled movement forces your chest, shoulders, and triceps to work through the entire range instead of bouncing off the wall with momentum. You should feel your chest and the back of your upper arms working with every rep. When you push yourself away from the wall, engage your core. Tighten your abdominal muscles as you press back. This turns a simple arm exercise into a full upper body and core movement. Your arms push, your core stabilizes. That combination is what builds functional pushing strength. Do 12 repetitions, rest for 30 seconds, then 12 more. Total time about 2 minutes. Exercise number 2, the horse stance. This exercise comes from centuries of martial arts tradition, and it is one of the most powerful lower body holds that exists. The horse stance builds your quads, your inner thighs, your glutes, and your deep core stabilizers simultaneously in one static hold. No movement, no impact, no joint stress. Just sustained muscular effort that builds the kind of endurance your legs need for walking, standing, climbing stairs, and staying on your feet without fatigue. Stand with your feet about double shoulder width apart. Point your toes slightly outward at about 30 degrees. Now slowly bend your knees and lower your body straight down, not forward. Not backward. Straight down like an elevator descending between two walls. Lower until your thighs are at roughly a 45-degree angle. You do not need to go to a full 90-degree squat. Even a modest bend creates enormous muscular demand in this wide stance. Once you are in position, hold it. Keep your back straight and vertical. Do not lean forward. Keep your weight distributed evenly across both feet. Press through your heels and breathe. Just like the plank, do not hold your breath. Steady inhales and exhales while your thighs burn. Hold for 20 seconds. Stand up and shake your legs for 10 seconds. Hold again for 20 seconds. Shake. One more hold for 20 seconds. 3 holds total. Your thighs will start to shake. That shaking is not weakness. That is your muscle fibers being recruited and challenged beyond what they are accustomed to. The shaking is where strength gets built. Embrace it. Every second you hold through the shaking, you are teaching those fibers to fire longer and harder. As you get stronger, add 5 seconds to each hold every week. When you can hold the horse stance for 45 seconds, your lower body endurance will have transformed. Stairs will feel different. Walking will feel different. Standing in line at the grocery store will feel different. Your legs will feel like they belong to a younger person. Exercise number 1, the dumbbell hip hinge. I saved this for last because it is the most powerful exercise on this list. It combines the hip hinge pattern you learned in exercise 4 with added resistance, which means it builds real strength in the muscles that matter most for daily independence: your glutes, your hamstrings, and your entire posterior chain. Your posterior chain is the line of muscles running from the back of your heels up through your calves, hamstrings, glutes, and lower back. This chain is responsible for standing up from chairs, climbing stairs, walking uphill, picking up grandchildren, carrying groceries, and maintaining upright posture. When the posterior chain weakens, everything about your daily movement becomes harder and less safe. Grab a single dumbbell or any weighted object, a jug of water, a heavy book, a kettlebell, a bag of rice. Anything between 5 and 15 pounds to start. Hold it with both hands in front of your body, arms hanging straight down. Stand with your feet hip-width apart, soft bend in your knees. Now push your hips back exactly as you did with the chair-assisted hip hinge. Flat back, hips traveling backward, chest leaning forward. The dumbbell travels straight down toward the floor as your hips push back. Lower until you feel a strong stretch in your hamstrings, or until the weight reaches about mid-shin level. Pause for 1 second, then drive your hips forward powerfully, squeezing your glutes hard at the top as you return to standing. The dumbbell adds resistance that your body weight alone cannot provide. This resistance is what triggers actual muscle growth. Without it, your body adapts to body weight exercises within a few weeks and stops getting stronger. The added weight ensures your muscles continue to be challenged and continue to grow. Do 10 repetitions, rest for 30 seconds, then 10 more. Each rep takes about 4 seconds. 2 seconds down, a 1-second pause, then 1 second driving back up. Total time about 2 minutes. But here is the critical form point that protects your back. The weight should hang directly below your shoulders the entire time. Do not reach the weight forward away from your body. Keep it close. The further the weight drifts from your center, the more your lower back has to work to stabilize it. Keep it tight to your body like it is traveling on an elevator cable, straight up and straight down. Your hips push back and drive forward. The weight just goes along for the ride. Now you have all 5 exercises. Here is your complete routine. Save this video because this is the plan you are going to follow. Plank holds. 3 holds of 20 seconds with 30-second rests, about 2.5 minutes. Chair-assisted hip hinge, 2 sets of 10 reps, about 2 minutes. Wall push-ups, 2 sets of 12 reps, about 2 minutes. Horse stance holds, 3 holds of 20 seconds with 10-second shakes, about 1.5 minutes. Dumbbell hip hinge, 2 sets of 10 reps, about 2 minutes. Total time, about 10 minutes. Do this routine 3 times per week with rest days in between. Rest days are not laziness. Rest days are when your body actually builds the muscle you just stimulated. Think of the exercise as drawing the blueprints for a stronger body. Rest days are when the construction crew shows up and does the building. Without rest, the crew never arrives. Each week, add 1 small progression. Add 5 seconds to your plank and horse stance holds. Add 1 or 2 reps to your push-ups and hip hinges. Add 2 pounds to your dumbbell when 10 reps feels manageable. These small weekly increases are what scientists call progressive overload, and it is the gold standard for reversing muscle loss at any age. You are not trying to do more all at once. You are trying to do slightly more than last week. Consistency beats intensity every single time. Now remember the chair sit to stand test you did at the beginning? Arms crossed, 3-second controlled descent, stand up without hands? Here is my challenge. Do this routine 3 times per week for 30 days. On day 30, try that test again. Same chair, same rules, no hands, 3-second lower. I am willing to bet the descent feels controlled instead of wobbly. The stand-up feels powerful instead of effortful. And you will wonder how 10 minutes 3 times a week could make that much difference. The answer is that you train the 5 patterns your body actually uses, not random exercises, not machines. The exact movements your body performs every single day, made stronger. Come back and tell me what happened. Write something like, day 1, I wobbled and grabbed the armrest. Day 30, it was smooth and controlled. I read every comment. And when you share your progress, you show someone else that their body is not too old to rebuild. It just needs the right 5 exercises and 30 days of consistency. Share this video with someone who has been feeling weaker and slower every year. Someone who thinks this is just what happens after 60. It is not. And 10 minutes 3 times a week can prove it. Subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss a video. And if your legs also feel heavy and tired by evening, head over to this video where I show you why your legs feel like sandbags by evening and how to drain that heaviness in 5 minutes. I will see you there.